If I asked you to tell me what the best romance ever put to film was, you might say something like La La Land, or The Notebook, or maybe you're stupid and you'll say Failure to Launch, or How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, or something else by early Matthew McConaughey. But I'd tell you that you're wrong. I would tell you that the best romance ever put to film is actually Friends with Benefits starring Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. And I'm going to tell you why. So, Friends with Benefits is exactly about what it sounds. It's about friends that are benefits. Justin Timberlake plays the main guy character, I don't know his name, who gets out of a bad relationship and gets headhunted by Mila Kunis. I also do not remember her name, and no, I will not look it up. He gets headhunted by her for a job at GQ out in New York City. He originally lived in LA. He takes the position and moves out to New York City, where his only friend at the time is Mila Kunis. They grow close, they become very good friends, and eventually they're like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could just fucking boink, just knock one out of the fucking park as friends and have some fun? And they're like, ha ha ha, that would be hysterical, but no, we can't. Friends can't fuck. Which, by the way, that's what they start doing.
And since we're just friends, I don't have to be insecure about my body.
Come on, you're beautiful. You have nothing to be insecure.
That sounds emotionally supportive. Lock that down.
Your ass is a little bony.
Much better.
So they start fucking and they decide, hey, we're not going to get in a relationship. We're just going to do this. But obviously things move along. They decide, ooh, I'm kind of into you. And then in the end, they get together and that's the movie, basically. There's other steps in between there and I'll tell you about it. But basically that's the movie. Fun fact, this movie is actually a twin movie with no strings attached. Now, a twin movie, if you don't know what it is, basically it's two movies that are exactly the same, that came out at exactly the same time and are competing with each other from different studios. So you got this and No Strings Attached, Armageddon and Deep Impact, White House Down, Olympus Has Fallen. There are countless amounts of twin movies, and at one point in time, I wanted to make a series comparing and contrasting twin movies throughout time, but that's a lot of work. But this is honestly maybe one of my all-time favorite movies. I'd really have to think about it, but this could crack the top 10 of my favorite movies. So I decided it's a lot of work to do that compare and contrast to twin movies, so I'm just going to talk about this one, because it's great. Now, I'm actually a sucker for a good rom-com. I make it kind of obvious. I don't hide it. It's a guilty pleasure, but I don't feel all that guilty about it. Rom-coms are good. They're a lot of fun. I love this movie, Love and Other Drugs, Always Be My Maybe. Always Be My Maybe is one of the most rewatchable movies ever. I've watched it like 1,000 times. I fucking love Randall Park.
James E. Woo, FBI.
And the music in that movie is bomb.
Hello, my name is Marcus, with lyrics for your carcass. Famous in the Bay for keeping cooler than the Arctic. Want some food for thought? Hello, Peril is the market. The smartest even though we're known for smoking up a harvest.
I like Forgetting Sarah Marshall with Jason Segel. I love Crazy Stupid Love. Big Sick with Kumail Nanjiani. Heartwarming and hilarious. It's fantastic. Point being, I love rom-coms. And I just tell you this and I list those movies because I don't want you to think that I'm coming at this out of nowhere, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I've never seen romance or I've never seen fucking what used to be called chick flicks, but honestly, that's a dumb name. We shouldn't call it chick flicks anymore. This is the 21st century. I love chick flicks.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Now, one of the reasons, and one of the big reasons, but I'm only going to touch on this for a second because I can't go too in depth, that this movie is so fantastic, is that it's believable. These people make believable friends. Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake have lightning chemistry. They are on fire. They are crackling and sizzling. But I believe them as friends. And you get the progression of them being friends. You don't just get these two people that bump into each other and like, oh, I love you. I love you so much.
Oops. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's crazy. Nobody ever gets my order.
Order up.
We're gonna need a bigger cup.
No, you get these people that have a foundation of friendship built, and you believe them when they hop into this, and you believe their reasoning for hopping into a fuck buddy situation. Maybe I should have said this from the get-go, but don't watch this if you're under 18. Don't watch this movie. Don't watch my video. I'm never family friendly. I don't advertise that I'm family friendly. Apparently some people don't fucking get it. But literally early in this video, I went like this. Granted, childish, I'll admit. It's childish. I'm a father. I should be more mature than that. But I still did it. Click off of this video if you're not 18. Please, for the love of God. But anyway, back to it. When they start fucking each other, I believe the reasons they're doing it for, and I believe that they're really good friends that also believe themselves that this is all this is going to be and that they're not going to be in a relationship. So it's believable. And that's what makes it fun and fast-paced and enjoyable. And the other genius thing that this movie does is it's almost satirical in a way. It mocks itself. It mocks the tropes of romantic comedies. It pokes fun at what it knows it is. And by doing that to a certain extent, it's like, hey, we understand the tropes of these romantic comedies. We understand the things that make a romantic comedy kind of cringe. We're not that. Look at us. We got an R rating. We showed Justin Timberlake's butt and Mila Kunis's side boob. We're fun. We're not that. I swear to God. And they go to an extent of this by having like a movie in this that they mock within this movie where they point fun at all of these tropes, even though they themselves do these tropes in this movie in kind of a satirical mocking way, but it works.
Bryce, how did you know I was at Grand Central Station?
You're not. You're in Los Angeles, where this movie was shot.
I'll talk about that fake movie and the tropes in a second, but I want to touch on the cast for a second because the cast of this really adds to it. So obviously, we have Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake in the main two roles. Phenomenal. And then in that fake movie, we have uncredited Jason Segel and Rashida Jones. Outside of that, and just the normal cast, we have Woody Harrelson playing one of his best friends in this, and also a flamboyantly gay guy that's absolutely hilarious while not being mocking or like downplaying or downputting of the LGBTQ community, which is great and it's hilarious.
You have a boat? I live in Jersey, and I ain't taking no ferry. It's out to dinner and a show. Bam!
Everything Woody Harrelson does shines like a fucking star, and he steals every scene of every movie he's ever been in, including this one. And then they have Patricia Clarkson playing Mila Kunis's horny-ass mom.
That was a better time. Just sex. A little grass, a little glue. Not during pregnancy. Well, not during the final trimester. But no complications. It's great!
Richard Jenkins playing Justin Timberlake's dad that has Alzheimer's and is struggling with that, and he's struggling with the idea of taking care of his dad and his dad getting older, and that's a great subplot that I don't even think I'm gonna have time to get to, but it just adds to the emotionalness of this movie.
I'll tell you something that I wish I knew when I was your age, and I know you've heard a million times life is short, but let me tell you something. What this is teaching me is that life is goddamn short and you can't waste a minute of it.
We have Nolan Gould as his nephew, which you probably know him best as this kid from Modern Family. You have Andy Samberg and Emma Stone hopping in very briefly for fun little parts where they play the original love interests of the main characters, and one of the reasons why they have emotional issues and can't have a proper functional relationship, so they start fucking each other.
Here's an idea. Next time, instead of being late, just shit on my face. Because that's kind of the same thing as missing your body is Wonderland.
Said I was your soulmate.
I did? When?
When we were at that bed and breakfast having sex.
But you know, that doesn't
That doesn't what?
count.
You have Shaun White playing a really weird, violent version of himself that hates Justin Timberlake and had a prior relationship with Mila Kunis or something.
I ever run into you again, I'll crush your earlobes and make soup stock out of them. You have a vivid imagination. I do. I get in a cab now. I'm gonna go make soup.
What's the matter with her?
I don't know.
There's a few others in there that I'm not touching on, but my point being, this is a phenomenal cast. It is a stacked to the brim fucking cast that you would not expect from this movie. This movie that for whatever reason has like a 68 in Rotten Tomatoes, a 63 on Metacritic, and a 6.5 on IMDb. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? This movie doesn't deserve that. It's a good movie. And it's so much better. So much better than No Strings Attached, which for whatever fucking reason is like stupid long and boring, and I fell asleep every time I tried to watch it. I promise. It's awful. Don't watch it. Now, I had talked earlier about the tropes and how they get away with the tropes by kind of mocking the tropes. How they get away with the classic rom-com things by poking fun and being like, ha ha ha, isn't that so stupid? Now let us do it, but fun. So they have the meet cute where he flies out from LA to New York City and she's like running along a luggage rack because she like was writing his name on a little, hey, this is me, come get in my limo type thing, and she was doing a lipstick and it blew away and she was on the luggage rack. She goes and hands his luggage to him and it's cute and adorable, played off like he even acknowledges, he's like, is this some sort of like, hey, I'm adorable thing, ha ha ha, please take the job. They have the oversimplifying of emotions where they even say stuff like, oh yeah, I can't get attached to people, and yeah, I focus too much on work, and they just boil their emotions down to a tiny little thing, but they themselves even say, look, on a silver platter, here's my emotion. They have the other relationship where they get out of in the beginning of the movie, but they're just like comical versions of a bad boyfriend or a bad girlfriend with Emma Stone and Andy Samberg. But then at one point, she is like, hey, I'm ready for a commitment, so she tries to date this doctor guy. And she's like, I have a 5-date rule where I only fuck after the 5th date. So they go on a bunch of dates, and then they get to the 5 dates, and he has sex with her, and he's like, great, I'm done now. I've achieved my goal, and he's a scumbag slimeball, you know? Then they have the meeting the family where she flies out with him out to California to meet his family, and this is where their emotions really start to bubble up to the surface, and they acknowledge the fact that they like each other, and they have sex there, but it means something more than beforehand.
Have you really never brought a girl home before?
I brought you here?
I mean like a real girl, not a friend.
A real girl?
Yeah.
I guess not.
But then they have the fallout where he says something insulting about her behind her back because he's afraid to confront his emotions. And then they have the big declaration of love, which is super cringe, but super adorable, but also kind of self-aware, which is that when she tries to convince him to move to New York City, she convinces him through flash mobs, because maybe at this point flash mobs were bigger and cooler than they are now, even though now nobody really cares about them. I think they're always kind of, not cool, but whatever. He convinces her to give him a second chance through a flash mob. The only downsides I would say of this movie is at some points there are a few weak acting moments of Justin Timberlake, but they kind of just get played off as weird and awkward. So it goes over well, and I can look past those. Big plus is the R rating of this. I don't feel like they could probably do this movie without the R rating, and I applaud them for taking the dive into an R rating. This twin movie, No Strings Attached, chose to not do that, but instead made the brave decision to be fucking terrible. But this movie is extremely rewatchable. Back when I was a single man, I'd pop it on all the time when I had dates come over to maybe, implant the idea of, hey, friends with benefits is a kind of fun idea, because I was a teenager, and all teenage boys are slime balls. So please remember that. I don't do it anymore. I'm happily married. I love my wife. She's amazing. Love you, honey. But yeah, this movie's crazy rewatchable. I love it. I rewatch it probably a couple times a year. I just pop it on in the background while I'm doing chores around the house, or I'm editing videos, or whatever. It's just fun. Enjoy it. People can enjoy movies, goddammit. Ugh. It's fucking good. Shout out Scott Kramer for introducing me to Clearly Canadian. This shit's spectacular. Please sponsor me. But anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other videos.